Hello and welcome to this video. We were continuing the first chapter of your history, that is French Revolution. In last video we discussed up to the taxation pattern of French society in late 18th century, and in this video we will discuss about how the people of France struggling for survival in 18th century. The struggle for the survival. Population of France grew and so did the demand for grain. During late 18th century, the population of France rose very rapidly, and obviously when the population grew, their demand for food, their demand for grain also raised. Production of grains could not keep pace with the demand. Well, the demand of people rise rapidly as the population was rising, but the production could not keep pace with the demand. Production needs a proper natural process. It required time. Land is a fixed capital, as we all know. Land is fixed, it is a fixed capital, it's not going to rise. So when the population rise constantly, but the land is fixed, obviously the production will not keep pace with the rising population, and so happened in the case of France. So when the supply could not match the demand, it subsequently led to price rise. When the demand for food rised and the production could not keep pace, then automatically the situation led to price rise of bread. Most workers had fixed wages which did not keep pace with the rise in price, and many worker class people had fixed wage rate. Wage means their salary that was not rising, but the price of goods are constantly rising, and that widen the gap between rich and poor. The people whose wages were fixed, they could not afford the goods or grain at high price, whereas the richer section of the society were not affected so much after the price rise. This led to a subsistence crisis which occurred frequently in France during the drought or hail during the old regime. Now let us discuss about subsistence crisis. What is the meaning of subsistence crisis? Subsistence crisis is an extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. So subsistence crisis is a situation where people could not get the basic livelihood. So subsistence crisis is a situation where people could not get the basic means of livelihood, and mainly food. There are three basic means of life, that is food, shelter and cloth. So here mainly people are deprived of food. They could not get a single time meal in order to survive. That situation is known as subsistence crisis. How it happens? Suppose bad harvest occurred in a season, that will automatically lead to scarcity of grain, which is obvious. That scarcity of grain will lead to rising in the food price. When the food price rises, obviously the poorest section of the society cannot buy bread any longer, which will affect in two ways. Either people will start food riots, they will start attacking the food stores and looting it, or they will gradually get weaker due to absence of food. In both ways, they will finally experience the death. If they riot, there will be death, or if their body get weaker due to absence of food, they will affected by disease or epidemics and gradually experience death. This kind of situation is called subsistence crisis situation. Now we will discuss about the growing of middle class. The 18th century witnessed the emergence of middle class people. We already discussed that the third estate people were again divided into two groups. Some of the third estate people were rich, whereas some of the third estate people were poor. From the richer section of third estate people, there was a gradual emergence of a separate group which was known as middle class people. What are the characteristics of middle class people? First, they were educated. They believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. They used to believe that a person must not be treated differently, or a person must not be get some benefits because of its belongingness or birth to a particular group or a particular estate. Rather, a person's social position must be depend on his merits. Because the middle class people, they were educated, they were capable, they were talented, they believed that a person must get some social status based on his merits, his own ability, not on the basis of his birth to a particular estate. They also believed in freedom and equal laws and opportunity for all. Like we already discussed, that in France, the first and second estate people were privileged group who were exempted from all the form of taxes. But the third estate people believed that a particular group should not be privileged. Rather, the freedom Rather, there should be freedom, equal laws, and equal opportunity for all. All the middle class people believed all these things, but these beliefs were put forward by philosophers such as John Locke, who was an English philosopher, and Jean Jacques Rousseau, who was a French philosopher. The two treatises of government. The two treatises of government was a work of John Locke. In two treatises of government, John Locke discussed about the doctrine of the divine and the absolute rights of monarchs. What should be the philosophy and what should be the rights of a monarch? These things are discussed in the two treatises of government which was written by John Locke. Another philosopher, Rousseau, in his work The Social Contract and Discourses, he proposed about a form of government which must be based on social contract between people and their representative. Well, contract means a set of terms and conditions to which both parties agreed to. So Rousseau believed that a government must be a form of government which must be based on a social contract between people and their representative to whom they elect or they choose. Another such philosopher was Montesquieu. In his work, The Spirit of the Law, Montesquieu proposed a division of power within the government. And the division of power must be within the legislative bodies, the executive, and the judiciary, which we can call a federal form of government. So, Montesquieu believed in a federal form of government, which he proposed in his work, The Spirit of Laws. The American Constitution and its guarantee of individual rights was an important example of political theories of France. As we already discussed that Louis XVI helped 13 American colonies to get their independence from Britain. And at that time, America was an independent nation. American have their constitution which guarantee its individuals some individual rights, and people of France get inspired from that particular idea. These ideas were discussed intensively in salons and coffee houses and spread among people through books and newspapers. So, different ideas related to their freedom of speech and availability of equal opportunity, right to equality, these all ideas were discussed intensively at that time in France, and these were discussed in any public places like salons, coffee houses, and the ideas were spreading through the printing media, that is books, newspaper, etc. These were frequently read aloud in groups for the benefit of those who could not read and write. As we already discussed that within the third estate people there were two different groups. One is poor group who were also illiterate, and there was a richer section who were educated and quite rich and all. But despite of the difference, they were struggling together in order to get the freedom of speech or equal right, equal opportunity, the equality in taxation policy, etc. So those ideas were read aloud in groups so that those who cannot read can also heard those ideas and they could discuss about it. The news that Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes to be able to meet the expenses of the state generated anger and protest against the system of privilege. In last video we discussed that in order to meet the financial crisis, Louis XVI finally decided to raise the tax in order to meet the financial requirement. And before he announced it officially, the news that he was going to do so spreaded much earlier. And that news generated anger and protest against the system of privilege within the third estate people, because it is obvious that if the tax rise, then it is the third estate people who bore all the burden, because the first and second estate people were privileged by birth, they were exempted from all the form of taxes. So before Louis XVI announced it officially, people were already agitated against the decision. That's all about this video. Thank you.